All right, so here is your topic, independent and dependent variables. The essential question, what is the difference between independent and dependent variables? Now be aware, we are also going to take some notes on discrete and continuous graphs. So we could have an essential question about those, but I wanted to save you the effort of writing. So what I need you to do is follow along and complete the notes, and be sure to write questions to the side and write a summary at the bottom, as well as add any information that you think will make these notes helpful for you. All right, so under discrete and continuous graphs, we know that from yesterday, a discrete graph is a graph of isolated points. So think dots. This is like the connect the dots before you connect the dots, just dots on a page. So it would look like this. See how they're just individual dots, no lines are connecting the dots. This is a discrete graph. So I would encourage you to sketch this below your discrete graph. Okay, continuous graph. The continuous graph is a graph with no breaks in it. So think line, right? It's going to look like this, just a straight line. It doesn't have to be straight, it can be zigzag, it can be a curve, but it is connected. There are no breaks in it. All right, I'll give you a chance to jot that down. I would again encourage you to write or sketch an example of each of these so you know what they look like, and also write a question off to the side here. Okay, moving on to independent versus dependent variables and quantities. This is what answers our essential question. A dependent quantity is a quantity that depends on another. Now, I know that may seem obvious, but think about what that means. This has to depend on the other amount. All right, we'll get more into that, what that means. Okay, so our independent is the one that does not depend on the other. So an independent quantity is a quantity the other depends on. Other meaning dependent quantity. All right, so this one is off doing its own thing, and this one depends on it. So think about big brother, little brother. Big brother makes his own decisions. Little brother wants to depend and be just like big brother, or whatever the case may be. All right, now independent variables. The variable that represents the independent quantity is the independent variable. Again, that may seem obvious, but we're just talking about the variables. Remember, variables mean amounts that change. So whatever is changing in our situations, if it is independent, it's our independent variable. And if it's the amount that's changing, or the variable that represents the dependent quantity, meaning it's depending on the independent, it is the dependent variable. So whatever is changing because this is changing is our dependent variable. All right? If time is going by and something is happening, time is our independent variable, and whatever's happening is our dependent variable. Time is almost always an independent variable because time waits for no person. Okay? Give you a chance to write that down, and then we're going to look at an example. Okay, here's an example. A person pays $8.50 for every pizza bought. All right? Think about what our independent and dependent variables are in this situation. What depends on what? All right? Well, think about it. What's going to go up every time I buy a pizza? All right? That means our dependent variable is the cost of the order. I'm not going to just buy one pizza, I'm buying more pizzas. And for every pizza I buy, it's going to cost more. So the cost depends on how many pizzas I buy, the number of pizzas. So dependent, the cost depends on how many pizzas I buy, not the other way around. All right, at this point, I'm going to give you a chance to write some questions over here about independent and dependent quantities, as well as write a summary. This is the end of our notes.